Merry Christmas! G'day, Stu here from UAVfutures and welcome back to another Sunday question and answer video. You guys know the drill. We're in the house, in Grumpy Trev's house actually, where every Sunday we go through and we answer some questions from the community about all things FPV related, YouTube related, all about FPV racing drones. So if you're new to the channel, drop those comments down below because what we're going to be doing, we're going to be going through, picking out your questions and giving you some answers with this grumpy old bugger right here. Anyway, now what we usually do every week, we usually have a prize or someone's a winner or something like that. And this week, massive shout out to Baer because we've got a set of those eSheen EV100s, which are like some cheap beginner goggles to get into the hobby, some proper like Fat Shark style ones. I was a big fan of them. Trevor's getting distracted. I don't know what he's doing. We'll leave a link up here too if you want to go watch that. So somebody today, you're going to be winning a pair of goggles. Anyway, what we should do, we should jump into the video and answer some of the questions from you guys. Oh, before I start too, Trev, how you been?
Yeah, good. Well, I had to work out what you meant.
Okay. I just meant how have you been in general?
Yeah, really, I can't complain. The weather's been beautiful. Been a bit too hot to fly though.
Well, today was stupid hot. Like, I don't know about beautiful. We had massive rain for a little while where we had that, we were going to flood, this house was going to flood.
Yeah, then we got massive extremes now. We had 40 degrees, so that's Celsius, which is...
I don't know what that is. We'll leave a link up here to like how hot that is in Fahrenheit, but very, very hot.
At 110, I think.
Oh, and we tried to get Crash Test Cal here, but of course he's being a slacker. So drop those comments down below for Crash Test Cal. He said if he got more subs, he'd come on. He doesn't think enough people want to see him. So share some love for Crash Test Cal. I'll leave a link to his channel somewhere as well. Also to Trev's, that might be in the description or something like that. Go check those guys out as well. And we can get Crash Test Cal here in the studio as well, or the second studio.
I can understand why people don't want to see him.
Alright, so let's move on. This is the first one. This one's from Brighton RC. And I'm going to apologise to everybody's names because obviously I can't read very well or pronounce them even worse. So, or even talk for that matter.
But he can pronounce it really well with his hands.
No, I can't. So this one's from Brighton RC. Do you fly better when you fly with a big group or just a couple of others? So if you're going to go out, Trev, would you reckon your best flying days are with a whole bunch of people or with a small select few?
No, just a small select few because you can get more packs in. There's not as much drama. We have flown with a...
What do you mean by drama?
Well, wrong frequencies, people...
Like smashing things with hammers or...
Smashing things with hammers?
Yeah.
I'm the only one that does that. No, well, smashing things with hammers.
Don't worry, let's move on, let's move on. It's a multi-GP joke.
Oh yeah,
you know that guy smashed that hammer?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
okay. Anyway, let's keep going. I'll stop interjecting. So yeah, why do you fly with a small group?
We fly with a small group because we haven't got as much drama with frequency clashing, hitting people when they're running on the track without us telling, and all that sort of crap. So yeah, much better when there's just a few of us. Fly a lot with our friends, and even Stu comes along sometimes.
Alright, yeah, I'm going to say for a big group, like I don't mind flying with a big group if it's every once in a while, but for me, my best flying, FPV, it's all about flying with your mates, having fun and just hanging out. And I think when you go out to fly, it can be frustrating if you're hanging out with a whole bunch of people. I might want to show Trevor something, or I might want to fly with him, and we just can't do that because there's too many pilots in the air at one time, and that's one of the big reasons why I don't go to big races, because all those people, it stops you getting your packs in, and then you can't fly with your friends. And for me, that's, I guess, the main part of this hobby. That's what I really love. So yeah, for me, my best flying days are just with that small group of people. So Crash Test Hal, Grumpy Trev, we've got our wingman Jono, 2-pack Perry, we've got a lot of people out there. Tom, shout out to him as well, Granger, you know, a whole bunch of people. When we've got, I guess,
Lockie.
Yeah, maybe like 6 pilots or something like that. That's when it's really good. I'm sure I'm going to be forgetting someone. They'll be sitting at home being like, Stuart, you just said everyone but me. You think of anyone else?
You said me, you didn't say you.
Okay, me?
Yeah. No,
I'm sure.
I think that's...
anyway,
yeah.
let's move on. So...
If we did forget to mention your name, it's his fault.
This one's from Lord Nation. Hi Stu and Trev. I don't know if we've answered one from this guy before. I'm a beginner pilot and I have trouble building up the confidence to hit gates and gaps. I feel as if I am going to miss them and I don't want to smash my quad every time I fly. Any advice for building that confidence? Oh. We're going to have to answer this. Who's on the phone? Hello? 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 What?
Then what?
Yes?
Okay, I'm Senior from Shenzhen Top Sky Company.
Okay, yep. Top Sky.
Hello.
Hello. I don't know. We're just going to hang up, see what happens. Well, that was weird. I just had Top Sky trying to ring me. We do have a second pair of goggles at home that we're going to be reviewing. So, well, that's never happened before. Anyway, it did sound like they said Top Sky, right?
Yeah, I thought it was one of those.
Like a prank caller or something.
No, one of those bloody telemarketers.
But
we just tell them to off normally.
But that did sound like they said Top Sky, right?
It definitely was Top Sky.
Yeah.
So they're probably okay, those guys. You can ring back anytime.
Just not the next bit. Anyway, so we're complete professionals here. If you are new to the channel, I apologise because Q&As, they've been getting a little bit more rowdy, a little bit less streamlined, but we do try. I promise we will get into some more FPV action soon. Hello?
Still what? I'm Senior. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, have you get the sample about F7X?
Yes, I have that sample.
Okay, have you tried it?
No, not yet, no.
Okay, you still not try it. So when can you test it?
The next 10 days.
Next 10 days?
Correct.
Why?
Because I have lots of products to review, lots of stuff to film.
You have many companies you're working for. So because we are very, our factory very urgently for the production, we need your reviews.
Yes?
So can you test it earlier for us? Maybe today?
Bye. Okay, so, whew, that was a lot of Top Sky talk, but yeah, I guess spoiler alert, we got the Top Sky 2s or the new version, so definitely stay tuned because we're going to be getting them out soon. I hope they fix them up, so we'll see how they go. But on with these question and answers. I sort of forget where we're up to, but oh yeah, this guy, this is Lord Nation. He's worried about hitting gates. And he doesn't have the confidence to do it. So what do you like? How does he get that confidence up?
Anyone can hit gates. Getting through them is the hard part.
Okay, yeah.
Just keep trying. You're not going to break your quad, or depending what you're flying, I guess. When we started doing, we're hitting gates all the time. We're literally hitting gates, not going through the things. And then all of a sudden it clicked and we started getting through them okay. So you will crash a lot, but that's part and parcel of it. So yeah, keep at it.
All right, I would say my advice, practice over grass, or maybe you can find some, like they don't have to be gates, but hitting gaps. So you might find, like, I'm going to fly through those trees. That's how I started to start with. 2 big stumps or maybe some big soccer posts or something like that. And then gradually shrink that size down. That's going to help a bit, help with your orientation as well as you're zipping around. And also if you want to use some pool noodles or something, you want somewhere, if you crash, grass isn't really going to hurt our mini quads too much. Some trees might a little bit, but gates tend to, they seem to be pretty forgiving. So where you're going to fly, pick some forgiving spots. So when you do muck up, it's not too heavy on your quad, not too bad on your quad. Alrighty, so this one's from Gary Kennedy. I think you've helped Grumpy Trevor come out of his grumpy shell because he's not so grumpy anymore. That's great though. I like the bloke now. He's actually a good character on these vids. Good on you, Grumpy. So thanks, Gary. That wasn't a question, but I thought that might be nice for Grumpy Grandpa. Is that your new nickname, Grumpy Grandpa?
For 1 second, Gary, you were this close to seeing Grumpy, but it got nice, so okay. I'll be nice. Yeah, all right.
No worries. Thanks, GT. Zook Cruise 1. I love how it is a competition of who can get the first comment. Yes, so congratulations if you're the first on this video. Well done. I'll repeat a previous question of mine, Stu. Do you ever get thumb jitters? And if so, how do you avoid it or improve it? So they're talking about nerves, I think, when they're flying around. For me, the only time it won't be my thumb jitters, but I will feel my heart beating or really pushing is if I'm doing a good lap and everything's just clicking together and it's going faster and faster and faster. And part of my brain, the sensible part is saying, Stuart, that's enough. That footage is great. Bring it in.
You haven't got a sensible part. Come on.
Well, okay, it's a small part. It's saying, Stuart, bring it in. That footage looks great. But then my heart starts racing and the other part of my brain is, no, just smash that throttle, push it even further, make it explode, push it like to the extreme. And that's when my heart starts racing and I'm like, I can kind of feel a little bit of nerves because I know what I've got is so good, but I want to push it even more. What about you, Trev? Do you ever get nervous or do you feel anything when you're flying?
Oh, no, not really. Probably the very first FPV flight I ever had, I did get probably a bit nervous, but It was pretty cold too, so it might have been shivering. But I've got to say, this is a very similar thing that when you do see us do the reviews, I'm always talking when I'm flying. Stu can't do that because if you talk to Stu while he's flying, he takes his hands off the controls.
Yeah, well, actually, anyway, we're going to move on. You guys are just going to tease me forever. But, by the way, I wore a different shirt this time. So last time I always say that I'm wearing some scrubs from the hospital. So today I'm wearing a t-shirt that I don't think anyone can find anything wrong with. So
I thought it could smell a dog.
If you don't like dogs, well then I'm sorry, because something's not right there. Anyway, this one's from Sadie Gov. Grumpy Trev is one of the nicest, coolest people in the hobby. Is this from you? This is from your alias. Why does he have Grumpy in his nickname? All right, Grumpy, tell him why is Grumpy Trev? Because you know he could just be Trevor. Why are you called Grumpy Trev?
Well, it all started many reviews ago when we actually reviewed some RoboCop type glasses.
The Glaxus.
Yeah, and look, I couldn't get over how bad these things were. These things were just absolute crap. So I went to town because I can't understand why anyone could make a product that's so full like this thing.
He's still angry about it today. Look at his face. Look how grumpy he is.
I really hated him. And it was such a waste. And the prices they were asking for this thing too.
It was like Fat Shark prices, I think, at the
and it
time.
was just
On-way prices.
These things, there was nothing good about them. Nothing. Not even the plastic. Yeah, it was just...
And then I think that's where it stuck. People like, man, he's grumpy, and that's where Grumpy Trev came from.
So if we do have a product that is crap, you'll see the grumpy side.
This one's from Andre Benjamin. I can't believe I pronounced that so well. How do you find inspiration for your videos and your channels? Do you set standards for yourself and your content? So what about you, Trev? Because you've been making some content recently. It's been going really well. You've been enjoying it. Do you have standards for yourself or for your videos and your channel?
Yeah, I don't want to do crap. I want to do something that people are going to want to buy that is going to be a good product. If it's crap, we'll tell them it's crap. So, yeah, you just got to get a good product and be honest about it. So sometimes good products aren't good.
For me, I guess the way I set my standards, there's like a couple of different things. I want it to be engaging. First and foremost, I want to feel like I'm just connecting with you guys and like we were sitting down, like the camera wasn't here. That's how I want my channel to feel because everybody's welcome in FPV. And I just want to feel like I'm talking to you guys and just like a general, the same way I talk to Trevor, that's how I want to come across in the videos. I want to bring that across. Well, one thing though, I do want to have good stuff on the channel, like stuff that people are going to actually be interested in. They might be thinking about buying, or it might be something like, look, stay away from this because it might be a little bit of a hidden trap. I don't want to have junk on the channel though, so I try to stay away from some of those toys, some of that rubbish, all that sort of stuff. Look, there might be another market out there for those sorts of things, but I want to make content that I'm really passionate about. And of course, the quality in terms of video production, that's got to be good as well. So I know I was doing a video the other day and I just wasn't feeling it and it felt a bit rushed. That's actually what happened on Monday. So you'll notice, usually I do a video every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That Monday one, I was like, look, I'm just not feeling it for this video. I've got some high standards for my own stuff, for my channel when I put something out, and that's why that video didn't come out, because I thought, well, I'm going to take this back. There's some other things I want to test on it, some other things I want to do before I can show it to you guys. So that was what I want to do. Anyway, Trevor. Alright, so we're moving on. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to say this one. Sinto Q2 Vando FPV. Love the Q&As with Trev Dog. I'm new to the hobby and struggling a bit with Acro learning curve. How long did it take you guys to really feel comfortable flying Acro? And what tips do you have for someone like me?
Just keep going. You'll crash a lot, but that's part and parcel. You talk to anyone who's done Acro, you crash a lot more than what you fly when you first start. Just keep trying new stuff. Make sure you've got a strong quad.
What about sims? Would you recommend to get on sims?
Well, I haven't found any good sims to do Acro on yet, but...
I know, like just Acro mode. Not talking flips and stuff. I mean like just learning from self-level to Acro mode.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was the question.
Yeah, that's what... So you can just go from there, Trevor.
Oh, yeah.
So someone wants to learn like Acro mode flying, not self-leveling.
Just flick the switch over and just keep trying. It'll come to you. It does feel really, really strange to start with. It feels really floaty and weird, but then it just... like that, just happens.
So to repeat that, would you recommend to get on sims if you were going to go into Acro?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's. I didn't try that until after I actually did that. But yeah, some of them are very good for that.
I would say my tips are don't spend too long on self-leveling mode, because then you're not going to be able to fly without it. It's going to be like a crutch that you're always holding on to. And self-level mode, it's going to hold you back. Let me say that again. If you're flying around on self-level mode, it's holding you back from your true potential of flying. It's so much easier to fly once you get used to it with acro mode. And my advice would be, look, I'm going to leave a playlist either up here or down in the description, and that's all about flying with acro mode, how to start, you know, your first, I think it's titled like How to Fly an FPV Race Quad or something like that. And it goes through some lessons on exactly how to fly with acro mode. So get on it as soon as possible, and also like Trev said, or I guess like I said, check out those sims as well, because they're a great way to learn. This one's from JK. Hey Stu, question, did you have nerves on your first flight? I just bought my quad and I'm terrified to fly it in case I break or lose it. Were you nervous? How did you overcome it? So yep, absolutely, I was so nervous. I took it out the back to this park. I was ready to fly, hit the switch, gave it a hover, and there's only so much. I think I did line of sight a lot first. My first FPV flight really freaked me out as well, and that was crazy because you don't understand how powerful these things are. And yeah, I was definitely nervous. What about you, Trev?
I must admit, I was a bit paranoid about losing it, especially when we first started, because it was all line of sight.
And I got to say too, back in the day, you couldn't just buy one from a box for like $150 that worked. You put a lot of money into them back in the day when we started, and they didn't fly nearly as well. And you put so much time as well building it. You had to put it all together, so that you had a lot more invested, not only like money-wise, also time-wise. You really had something you cared for. So
yeah, and we didn't really have things like fail-safe that worked properly then. It was a lot of hassle to set that up. No one really knew a lot about it, but that did come. It does happen, so I've got the What was the other part of the question?
He's saying he's petrified. You know, did we have nerves on it? You know, were you nervous? And how'd you overcome it?
Definitely had nerves.
How'd you overcome it?
Oh, I just said and just bloody. I just went for it.
All right.
And after that, it was fine.
Trevor's brain's rebooted. He's remembered what he's talking about.
You just got to go with the flow. Don't worry about it. Look, you're not going to lose your quad if you set it up properly, especially now. And just go for it.
Go somewhere where if you are going to lose it, go with a spotter and somewhere it's safe. So if it gets out of control, someone can look after it. And where there's no other people, because that was something I was nervous about, was hitting other people or other things. So try to move away from all that sort of stuff.
And don't fly near water, because if it's your first quad, that's where you're going to go. I guarantee it.
So this one's from RC Skunk Works with an X. If you were a quadcopter racing FPV instructor, Trev, what would be the most important lesson? What would be the most important lesson, the most valuable lesson you could teach new drone pilots?
Don't be a
Okay, what does that mean?
Well, you get people out there that just do stupid things and put it up on YouTube, which doesn't do the...
You know who you are.
Yeah. It doesn't do, what do we call this, the industry, any...
Hobby, community.
The community, all that sort of stuff. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
it doesn't do it any good. So I think that education first is good. Just be smart about where you fly and what you do.
My most important lesson would be to respect these things, in terms of they're really powerful and you can really mess people up or cause some damage. So you might be bad for the hobby, but like Trevor's talking about, but I'd also be worried about other people. So if I crashed into a car, what damage would I cause for them? Especially if that car was speeding along or something like that, I would try to tell my people, my students, and I guess I am teaching some people on YouTube, with those drone lessons, and maybe that's one I should have, but don't fly in risky situations where you can damage other people or property, because it's just not worth it for yourself, for them, and also for the hobby. So that's definitely the
Does that
number one
also
lesson.
apply when you run into me when we're flying?
No, because you're part of this hobby. I can crash into you because you're so slow all the time anyway.
No, that's when I've lapped you. You're fine.
Lapped you and then turned around and come in reverse. Anyway, so like Trev said, how did you sum it up? Don't be a... Yeah. Hey Stu and Trev, I know you guys have the UAVfutures test track, but do you guys ever fly other locations? And if so, what's your process for finding new spots, and how do people down under typically react to quads? So that's a few questions. So let's answer Sam's one about, do we ever fly other spots? What about you, Trev? So do we fly other spots?
Yeah, there's probably 4 or 5 spots that we do. There's a couple we fly a lot, which we really do like. And we just come across them. We're always looking, I guess, which is, you're just driving down the road. I mean, this bloke's terrible. We're driving somewhere, he goes, oh, that'd be good over there.
You're just as bad.
And we do find spots like that, mostly by accident, and a few sort of get handed to us as well, get told about. So yeah, if you look around, you'll find them.
And you see a lot of the UAVfutures test track because it's such a good way for me to compare quad to quad. It's got that consistent environment with a consistent track, so it makes easy comparisons for me when I'm doing my reviews. So that's why we spend a lot of time there. But a lot of times I am off-site to other places and flying around all the time, definitely. What about how do people down under react to our quads? I'm going to start off with this one. I'm going to say generally, I've only ever met one person who was a bit unhappy about quads, and they were raving on about the media and all this sort of jazz. So, you know, whatever their problem was, I'm not too sure. But everybody else has been absolutely fantastic, you know, and especially if you show them the goggles, people like cops, really, really old people who are like bird watchers, they're like, this stuff's amazing. This is so cool. They're so impressed with that technology. You know, when you smash the throttle, show them how much performance they can have, and you give them a ride along and you just see the smile grow in their face. People in Australia seem to be really, really positive about FPV. And
what's really old people look like?
I don't know what old people look like, Trevor. I'll flash a picture on the screen of what old people look like right now. Anyway, how do you think people react in Australia to quads?
Well, everything we've seen, I've come across, has always been positive, especially when we show them the goggles and let them have a ride along. Always positive. I've never had anything negative yet.
Yep. At any point, I reckon that's too because we're pretty safe flyers. We don't really bug other people or anything like that in really public spots. So I think if I was definitely somewhere like in the middle of town or something, or near some businesses that didn't want me there, they might be getting a little bit more upset. But so far we haven't had any issues. This one's from Easy Target. So at any point before getting review units, did you feel discouraged and want to stop the hobby because your parts kept breaking? I keep burning all my ESCs and my micros and it's very frustrating. I'm going to answer that in two ways. I'm going to say nowadays, well, you're kind of like in the best it's ever been in terms of ESCs and all that sort of stuff. I haven't burnt out ESCs for a very, very long time. Now they're more reliable than ever. So if you keep burning yours out, that's sorry, you've been so unlucky. In terms of like, did I ever get discouraged and want to stop? No, never. Not even for the slightest. I did have setbacks and some days weren't good. Some days weren't as good as others. Even the bad day was still good. But overall, I was still super passionate about this hobby no matter what happened. And I'd had total builds just get wrecked and all that sort of stuff. Things when you lose them, flyaways, all that stuff. It can be a little bit discouraging, but never anywhere near the amount that I want to make stop the hobby. Because I love this hobby and I can't ever see myself giving up FPV. What about you, Trev?
I forgot the question here because your answer was so long.
Okay, Easy Target. Did you ever get discouraged when you break stuff?
No.
Okay, there we go. Is that your answer?
I've got plenty of stuff to pre-build. So.
What about before you had that stuff though?
Well, it was disheartening. It was the first quad I ever had. This thing used to, every time you landed it, you broke it. It really was a piece of
Okay.
So you spent more time fixing it than flying it.
Did that ever make you want to give up?
No, you just wanted to get out and fly every time you fixed it. So you broke it, you fixed it again. Then you eventually bought a better quad. So no, never been discouraged, not in this.
Hey, so this one's from Luke Addison. Hey Stu, can you please give Trev a bitten up old chopstick to use in his reviews? I saw him use a pencil the other day and I felt like there was something missing. Keep it up, guys. Would you like me to get you a Chinese chopstick, Trevor?
No, look.
For Christmas?
Everyone knows you've got to have a bit of lead in your pencil.
How long have you been thinking that up?
That just came to me.
Okay, Ace Tacy FPV. Hey Stu, my favourite episodes are definitely the Q&As with Trev. They always give me a good laugh. Yeah, me too. I love doing the Q&As with Trev as well. As much as I hate to admit it, it is good fun. I started my own channel and I've done a few vlogs and my flying leaves a bit to be desired, but I'm improving. Do you think someone can have a relatively successful channel by personality alone, or when it comes to pilot channel, the flying does most of the talking? So I think what you're asking is a pilot or personality when it comes to a good YouTube channel. What do you think, Trev?
It's definitely personality, because there's some pilots out there that got a YouTube channel, they're fast, but they're
straight from Trevor's
mouth. Some just haven't got a personality at all. If you can't get out there and have fun and communicate with people, what's the point of that? You've got to have a bit of personality, and it just goes a long way. And the stuff that we do here, communication and all the comments we get back, it's just fantastic. We can't answer all of them, but we have a ball actually reading all those.
That's true.
And it's just so much fun. So it means that we're getting across to you guys, and the passion is both sides, so we really enjoy it.
I thought you were going to ramble there, but actually that's a pretty good message with you know, this, I will answer this question soon, but yeah, it really does go both ways. So I know it feels like we make videos and you guys are on the other side watching it, but every single comment you're putting through, you know, when we read them all, even though like Trevor says we don't answer them all, often Trevor will send me screenshots and say, hey, look what this guy said, you know, and he's something by, you know, teasing me or having a good laugh, and just that good humor in there and just the community that UAVfutures have, and I feel really lucky to have. I'm really blessed. So anyway, I'm rambling, but to get on with this guys and answer this guy's question, I would say I think personality goes a long way. Think about what you like to watch. If you like to watch just racing drone videos, maybe that's the sort of stuff that you like your audience to be in, and you might find your racing audience. Make your own content and your own audience will come. So for me, I just like having fun, sharing FPV with my mates, and you know, having a bit of helpful knowledge along the way. And I think I don't have the best crazy skills or anything like that, you know, and some people do like my flying, but for me,
and you're crazy.
But for me, I think it's just all about having fun. So that's what mine is, and that's what I want to share. So my advice, think about your message, what you want to share, and your audience will come from that. John Briggs, how do you pick which items you're offered to review? Trev, because you've started some reviews, so how do you choose which ones you want to review? And which ones you don't want to review? That's an important one.
Yeah, well, the first ones I got offered, I knocked back because they were really, well, weren't FPV. I don't know even why they offered them to me. They were pretty well. So you pick out something that you think is going to be good for your channel. I think we discussed this before. I'm concentrating on micros at the moment because a lot of you guys are freezing your ass off in the winter over there, and we're only 120 degrees here.
Yeah, it's very hot.
Yeah. So it's too hot for us to fly outside at the moment too, so we've got indoor tracks so we can fly the little micros here too. So
we'll give you a sneak peek too, that'll come up at the end. We'll give you a sneak peek at it, it's looking good.
So
yeah.
if you look at the product, if it sounds good, we'll get it. Sometimes we get it and it's crap. So, but it is a bit hard, that picking the right product.
I would say I pick things that I'm interested in. So I think to myself, well, would I be interested in flying that? Would I be interested in possibly buying that if I wasn't a review channel and I was just somebody out there getting into the hobby? What information would I like to see? And I try to stay away from toys and things because I'm just not interested in those. And I get a ton of things, you know, Stuart, can you please review this? Today I got like some Kickstarter campaign thing email, can I please review like a laptop Mac charger or a LED changeable light bulb? I get so much rubbish like that, you know, and then also some other rubbish drones that say, look, that's not really what I'm into. I just have a look at the specs and think, right, that's interesting, that's different, that's exciting, that's what people want to see, that's also what I want to fly. So that's how I choose to get stuff on the channel. Cowtown FPV, how did you get so popular on YouTube? Or Trev, what are your tips for getting popular? Was there a big break or did you just grind your way to where you are sub by sub? Do you want me to go? You go.
Well, I can understand how I got the subs, but look at his face. How can he get subs?
Oh, my wife's at home crying now. You're a bully, Trevor. All right, so is that your answer? What's your, what are your tips for getting popular?
Just be honest.
Okay.
Be yourself.
Yeah, that massive tip right there.
We talk, but you know, we don't. Just tell it how it is.
Okay. I would say, look, it seems weird calling my channel. I know my channel's popular and people remind me of that all the time, but I still feel like, because, you know, I only know maybe 20 people in real life in FPV, and I probably see a select handful, like maybe 10 people that I actually fly with or catch up with or talk about FPV. So it feels weird to think that there's 100,000 of you guys out there who love these videos, and I don't know, I guess it didn't come as a big break. One part I will put out, you know, like Trev says, be honest, just be yourself, because you couldn't do it. If, you know, if you love it and you're passionate about it, it would be such a drag if you had to pretend to be somebody else every single time you jumped in front of the camera. So just be yourself, tell it like it is, and keep working hard. For me, if you look at my sub history, it has just been a slow slog the whole way, and you look at the videos I put out, it's been like 3, 4, 5 a week for like the last 2 years. Get out, this is me telling them how I built this, but yeah, it was just a slow, hard slog, and I couldn't do it. That's my tip. I couldn't do it if I wasn't passionate about it and you didn't work hard. So it's hard work, and Trevor, we're going to move on, but it's just hard work, and you go look at that sub history because it's just been a steady increase the whole time. There was no big break or anything like that.
And keep it short and sweet.
What's your favorite frame? Because I'm trying to choose a frame, but I don't know which one to get. All right, I'm going to quickly rattle off. I can't pick a favorite one, but here's what I really like, or something that really means a lot to me. So, number one, we've got I shouldn't say numbers. The first one I'm going to talk about, we've got the Armaton Chameleon. That was, you know, when I first got that, I hadn't seen any other videos on there. No one else seemed to be flying it. I flew it out and I knew I had something special. So the Armaton Chameleon, it's really, really robust. Number two, or the second one, the America, which I've just recently flown, the performance of that thing is off the chain. change. So, you know, people thought that was so quick, it was speeding up the footage. I had to do a I'm not speeding up my footage video. And number 3 would be the Talon, because for me, that handled in a way, like when it cut through the air in the turns, when I was really racing and smashing the throttle, that felt like nothing else when I was flying that around. So those 3, you know, there's lots of others, but those 3 were really up there for memorable ones this year for me. What about you, Trev? What's your favourite frame, or frames if you want to add those in?
Well, mine's also the Chameleon.
Yep.
That goes with me everywhere. I really like that. And the Torrent S.
Well, you got 2 Chameleons, believe it or not.
Yeah, I've got 2 Chameleons. I always take them out. And the Torrent S, I really like that. It just flies so well. I don't know. I just got a soft spot for it.
Yep.
Probably my
your ones.
My ones.
So Chameleons and the Torrent S.
Yeah, I like that America thing, but I haven't got one of them.
Moving on, we just had our tea break because this one's been going for a while actually. Jay Baer, hey guys, love the show. Just wondering where the riot shield came from, and did Crash Test Cal get it because everything is getting so fast and he gets nervousness also about getting hit. Keep it up, great shows. Thanks very much, glad you're enjoying it. That riot shield, I'll actually leave a link down below. That came from Banggood, and I wanted some extra protection from Cal. We got him the helmet, got him the riot shield, and I hope he feels a little bit safer anyway. But
no, he's just a wimp, that's all. Because he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, alright. This one's from Gregu E-Wing. What's up, guys? My question is not much. My question for you guys is, if money wasn't an issue and you had whatever resource you needed, what would you develop for the hobby? Trev.
Digital FPV.
Okay.
Miniaturized version.
Yep.
That's, once we get that, that'll be it.
And what do you want specifically from that? What do you want to enable? What's that going to let us do?
That's going to let us fly as many people virtually as we want at the same time. That's,
alright. So that's your biggest thing, you want lots of people in the air at the same time without interference?
I just think that'd be cool, yeah. Look, we'd fly with everybody then. I mean, it wouldn't matter, it wouldn't be 4 or 5. We'd go out with dozens of people, everyone would fly at once.
That would be unreal.
You ever seen these videos where these guys, these FIAMs they call them, I think flight tests do them every now and then?
Yep.
They have all these planes and gliders up there. Wouldn't that be great, having hundreds of quads in the air at the same time?
That would be unreal.
Would be awesome. I'd love to see that.
For me, look, this one's a bit of left field, you know, maybe a bit of a curveball. What I would want to develop is, it's a bad word, regulations. So if I had the money and the resources, and I'm talking serious money where you could campaign and change some things, I would want to make a distinction for those people who are making the laws out there, who are making those regulations. Look, FPV drone racing, it's fun, it's safe, it's good for the community, good for young people to get involved. What a great sport that brings everybody together. You don't need to regulate it like like you are for some of those heavier rigs and all that sort of stuff. Leave the FPVs alone. We can do, we can regulate ourselves. That sounds weird, but we can make the good decisions. So don't put us in that blanket part with the others. Give us just some good guidelines to fly with, without making us criminals if we're flying like in Canada over like 250 grams or some other rubbish stuff. So that would be my biggest thing I would do for the hobby. I would develop some good guidelines, regulations, whatever you want to call it, that let us do our hobby safely, fun, but without too much hassle as well, or expense. Whew, I got a bit fired up about that one. My gosh, Cleed Blatt Paul. I'm legit, that's what it's like. Hi Stu, I'll have to zoom in there. See, Cleed Blatt Paul. I don't know, that's as good as I could say. Hi Stu, what's the most important thing about the hobby for you? For me, getting out to the people and getting to know the other pilots and flying with them is always more important than the actual flying itself. What about you guys? What's the most important thing about this hobby to you, Trev?
Yeah, ditto. I just broke these.
Bang on?
Yeah.
For me, I would say my most important part, it's so fulfilling. I don't know why, I can't even imagine doing anything else now other than stuff about FPV, because there's so much there that's so rewarding. But the most important part is just having a good time with your friends and bonding over FPV, no matter your age or anything like that. You could be really old, could be young, like Lockie, Granger. Could be like those guys, but when we're all out, we're all in this, we're just like you're all on the same ground, you're all on a common level. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you believe in, or how old you are, you can just get together, fly, and have fun. And there's just something special about when that happens, doing that with FPV. So,
well, I can answer that really, really quickly.
Okay, let's go.
It sums up exactly what you said. Just get out and hand your mates. That's it.
Having a good time with your mates. Kit Bill. So hey Stu and Trevor, another fantastic Q&A. So I'm glad you liked the last one. Because you guys are obviously so passionate about the hobby, how do you avoid thinking about it quad stuff all day when you should be concentrating on other things like work and other commitments? Now, I'm going to go first here, Trevor. You're going to laugh at this one, and It's a bit embarrassing, but I'll tell you guys anyway. I actually had a dream about you today. I decided to have a nap. My daughter was having a bit of a rough night last night, so I was pretty tired. I was up for a lot, but I had a nap today, and my wife, you know, my daughter went to sleep. My wife was going to go have a nap, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to have one as well. And I was just laying there, just sort of dozing off. And I swear that, you know, my wife got up because she heard the daughter, and that woke me up. But I swear before she did, I was dreaming about you, Trevor, and something was going on like, and this was what was happening. I was saying, don't give Trevor the batteries. What's he going to do with those, you know? And so you're about to plug something into one of our quads or something like that. So there you go. I actually not only think about it, turns out I dream about it, and somehow Grumpy Trev's getting in there as well. What about you, Trev? Back onto topic. How do you keep yourself on task when you should be instead of thinking about quads all day?
What is there besides FPV and quads?
This one's from Itchy Robot. So, okay, Stu, so how are you so genuine? Don't get me wrong, I totally love you for it. Well, thanks very much, man. Everyone out there has an opinion, yet you seem to just give it straight. Cheers for that, mate. Saying that, are there any drones you love despite knowing in your heart of hearts it's really not all that and a bag of chips? So I guess for being genuine, I'm really glad you can see that, because that's what this whole hobby is about. Whether you agree with my opinion or not, it's still my opinion that I want to share with you guys. Share that information so you can make the best decisions, get as many people out there as we can that's flying. And like I keep saying, I couldn't do UAVfutures if I was pretending to be something else, because it just wouldn't feel the same. It wouldn't have that same sort of, you'd be way too much work as well, and it wouldn't come across like it does. And, you know, but have people on here like Trev, you know, who can just tell it like it is. Crash Test Cal, that's what's great about UAVfutures. It's like a channel, even though it has a lot of subs. We're just a family that we can all share. It'll be the same if the camera wasn't there and you were sitting in this room with us. We'd just all be having a chat about FPV, just telling you exactly what it's like. But instead of you being there, we've just got the camera there instead. What about you, Trev?
I think you just filled out the memory card.
Okay. What about you, Trevor? I rambled there, but what about, are there any drones, the second half of that part, are there any drones that I love in my heart of hearts, but I don't think are all that? Nowadays, I would say one that has a special place for me, but I wouldn't fly as much anymore, would be the GT2. So that really taught me a lot about flying, about fast forward flight. But there's some things I'd like to change about that. You know, like I don't like the camera protection so much anymore. Wasn't really an issue back in the day, but now I think it's time to address that sort of stuff, and things have changed. So for me, the GT2 has a special place to me, but I wouldn't recommend it as much as I used to. What about you, Trev?
Yeah, I'd have to say the Torrent S. It's still one of my favourite quads, but it's not the bee's knees or anything like that. It's just something I like flying, and there's a lot of things I don't like about it.
Yeah, what's one thing you don't like about the Torrent S?
It didn't come with an OSD, and
okay,
that was pretty. The new one does apparently, so we haven't got one of those yet. Look, it's got plenty going for it, and there's some against it, but it's still a great quad.
And you do take that everywhere?
Yeah, I do take it everywhere, so.
All right, this one's from Ruslan Major Jebs. How do you understand battery voltage in OSD when it jumps up and down for a significant amount of time? Still just planning to get the quad, but that part looks confusing.
Well, I think that's a question you can't really answer, because you crucify your batteries.
Yeah, I do wreck my batteries quite a bit. That's for you guys, though.
Yeah, look, if you want to look after your batteries, I normally fly mine down to about 14 volts.
What about if you're getting that sag though, so a punch out going up and down, up and down?
When it's consistently, if you do get a sag, it'll go down to 14 and pump back up again. That's okay, but when it gets to 14 and when you do hit it and it sags too much and it goes to 14, well, it's time to come in.
Yep.
And that way, look, batteries will last a lot longer.
I'm going to say that comes from experience as well. So for me, I'm punching mine down. I've seen mine down to like 8 volts before, but then they bounce back up to 18. So I've really destroyed some of my batteries, and I am harder than usual, but most of the time I'll put it down to like 11 or something like that. And it comes down for experience. I know how hard I can push a battery so it will bounce back up, and that's only from doing that time and time again. So I can really draw my current out.
What about the ones that have caught fire?
Yeah, well, those ones are a bit different, right? We're not talking about the ones that have caught fire. But a lot of the time, I can fly a battery till it goes down, and it's just something that comes from it takes a bit of time to learn that skill, know how you fly and how you personally treat your batteries to where they'll bounce back to they're about 14. Because most of the time when I go to stick them on the charger, they're pretty close, like 3.7 but to 3.8 most of the time per cell. Alexander Vanna, question and answer. That's a cool name, wasn't it? I liked it.
Yeah, you can pronounce it.
Yeah, good day, Stu. Love the channel since your 15k subs. Well, thanks so much. I'm glad you've been enjoying it. I think you do a great job. Would you consider coming to Europe for a tour of the big events like Paris Champs, Elise Drone Race in June? I don't know. If you can get us a ticket, Trevor and I would love to come there. So if you're in charge of that race, hook us up.
Yeah, Vive la France.
Can you speak French?
Yeah, croissant.
No, that's not French. Is that French?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're going to need some other words. Anyway, we're moving on.
Oui.
Lee Hudson. Hi, Stu. Why don't you ever use your HD V2 goggles anymore? Do you prefer the on-way? So they're talking about the Fat Sharks. The HD V2s are arguably the most expensive pair of goggles you've ever seen. And why don't I use them? Because they had a big bright screen, all this sort of stuff. They had some features. And then I got the on-ways, and a lot of people said, oh, that's not true, Stuart. You're just saying that for the review, blah, blah, blah. But like I kept saying, and like Trev says, on this channel, we tell it how it is. The on-ways, I liked them as soon as I had them. Yeah, they didn't have the biggest screens. They weren't as big as the HD V2s, but that wasn't what I was after. That didn't help my flying in any way, and I didn't think it was any better. And I really like the on-ways. They're comfy. They fit well. They had all their features, and even better, that for you guys, they're at a fantastic price as well. They're all significantly cheaper than the other ones. So yeah, overall, I just like the on-ways, and I thought they were a better goggle, and that's exactly what I've told you. And you've seen that in my videos. Ever since then, I've been flying around with the on-way Commanders. Trev?
Yeah, well, virtually the same with me. I've still got I've got a couple of pairs of Fat Sharks.
You got the special editions and some attitudes, but you're on on-ways now.
I love on-ways. I've had them now for a few months and always liked them, and still do. I don't think I'll be changing them anytime soon. I really do like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would recommend those over any Fat Shark goggle. 100 times over.
This one's from Adrian Ryan. Hey Stu, great channel. Did you ever find flying with GT holding you back? Nice guy, but he's old. What am I going to say to that?
I'm actually trying to answer that without making you edit.
Okay. What would you like to say to Adrian Ryan?
You, Adrian.
I know it's just having a dig at you, Trev. Honestly, it's not the same. If you're not there, it's just not UAVfutures. Here's another one. This isn't even a question. This is another one about Trev and a little bit about age. So Trev plus FPV equals Benjamin Button. So people have been saying actually it looks like FPV agrees with you. You've been getting younger. So there you go, Trev. You're the Benjamin Button of the FPV world.
Yeah, well, you only let yourself get old if you think old.
Yeah.
So.
Hello.
Guys, the older guys are out there, mate. Look, all you guys that are around my age, I'm not going to say how old I am. I'm over 50. Go for it. Look, it's a lot of fun, and you can do it.
All right. Is this a motivational speech for those people in there?
Yeah. Kick those young pricks' asses. These bloody whippersnippers,
All right, so that was actually the last question. What we're going to do now, it's time for the giveaway. So we're going to decide who gets. Massive shout out to Banggood. Go and check that link out down below. It's for their EV100. It's like a little pair of Fat Shark goggles. Perfect beginner goggles. I'm a big fan of them, and I know Trev, you liked them as well. But who are we going to give it to? So we better draw props. So whoever's got the shortest prop, have you got those?
No, not your props.
Ow, I just put my chair on my toe.
Hang on, what about
What do we got today? How are we going to choose this?
we'll use a
zip tie.
A zip tie, I'll do.
Okay.
And have to cut a little bit off so you won't know which one's All right, here we go.
All right, so whoever the shortest one, long one, who gets to pick the question?
The shortest one gets to pick the question.
Okay, so whoever's got the shortest zip tie gets to pick the question. Now that's just messing with me because now I don't know if you're show the camera, sort of hold it.
There we go. Look.
You don't know if Trevor's oh, can I see in there? Can I see?
Can you see? Look, here you go. You can see that.
No, I mean, can I see? I was trying to peek in the back.
No.
Oh, see, I don't know if you're I'll put this one shorter so Stuart's pick that one.
Not that one.
No, I am picking that one. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Hold it up. Whose is longer? Yours.
Yeah, but we said the shortest.
Oh, so I won. Great. Yes. Woo! All right, so this week's winner is... Let me go back and have a bit of a quick squiz. Alrighty, so congratulations. The winner is...
Ho, ho, ho.
Ace Tacey. We actually did a bit of a rehearsal for that. But Ace Tacey, FPV, congratulations. That was your question about, you're starting your own channel with some vlogs, but, is it all about the pilot or the personality when it comes to getting the most out of your channel, all that sort of stuff. And just the advice we could give and talk about just be yourself, build your channel about the stuff you like, and you'll find you'll get your own audience. So congratulations. I'm going to be contacting you through your inbox, spam box, something like that. You're going to be getting a pair. I'm going to be hooking up with Banggood. So massive shout out to them. So check all that sort of stuff. For everybody else, subscribe for more FPV related content. I don't know what Trevor's doing, what we should do. I'm going to show you like a bit of a demo version, a demo quick squiz at Trev's indoor underground test track, because that's something we're excited about. Subscribe for more FPV related content. Drop those questions down below for next time, and as always, happy flying.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah, Merry Christmas as well, because we're not sure, coming up how it's going to be just before Chrissy. This might be the last Q&A for this year, but if it's not, well, I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
The guys in America.
What guys?
Happy holidays.
What?
Well, they don't know Merry Christmas, they have happy holidays over there.
Oh. Do they? I don't know.
Well, you tell me whether I'm right, guys. It's happy holidays or is it Merry Christmas?
All right,
Is it
well,
both?
yeah, have just...
Where do the holidays come from?
Happy holidays. Whew, I mean, happy flying. Isn't that how we ended it? Anyway.
Yes. Happy flying holidays.
Alright, I feel like I'm vlogging. Look, I'm Ladrib. I've got a real camera now. Okay, so are you just going to push those body... Wait, don't turn it on yet. Oh, I don't have shoes on.
Oh, that's all right.
No, I don't like spiders, mate.
Step on the mat.
Oh, that's where they're going to love to
No,
live.
there's nothing in there.
I feel so uncomfortable doing this. Alright, so here's... get out, Trevor!
You ready?
Yes, I'm turning this bad boy on. Woo! So there's our sneak peek. We've got some cool stuff coming, and yeah, we can't wait to show you, because this is like a third done. There's a lot more that we can't show you. Alright, so there's a few things in here.
See that alright?
Yep.
You see me?
No.
Oh, bad luck.
Anyway, put some comments down below. What do you guys want to see in here? Because we're pretty excited. I swear. Get out, Trevor. Spiders everywhere, mate.
That's not under there.
They're everywhere. Ooh, sneak peek backpack.